We are professional at physical illness. There's a little mark on an x-ray. We don't expect anything. We don't want anything. We don't do anything. We'll give and give and be, and we'll sit. Any Jewish parent will sit for 5 years on a chair, sleep on a chair, and eat bikur cholim food. Period. No complaints. Someone's going to say, how do you do it? How do you do it? What do you mean? It's my child. Yeah, but they're in a coma. They're in and out of consciousness. Go home. Go. You have to self-care. You have to, what's self-care? My kid's we know how to do that. But a kid who goes through anxiety, depression, mental issues, pressure, trauma, we're always expecting them to be normal. You're going to get appreciation years from now. You will get it. You will get it. I will guarantee you. I'll write it down. If you don't get it, you get a full money-back guarantee. I spoke last week on Vayosha Hashem about appreciation. Watch that clip. We didn't appreciate Hashem either, and we still don't appreciate Hashem. You appreciate everything Hashem does for you? Every single thing Hashem does, you say, thank you so much? Or do you complain about what you don't get and expect what you do get? So why should your child be different? We're all spoiled. We're all spoiled. We can't appreciate things. Our attitude is, maybe it's just me, but I think other people will agree if we're being honest. You decided to make a world. You put us down here. I'm not going to thank you for gravity. That was part of the deal. That was part of the reason you made the world. Yeah, anybody ever said thank you to Hashem for gravity? Anybody ever said thank you to Hashem for the sun? That's for rain, whatever. It stops raining, we go crazy. Well, not now, but when they used to need rain. Now we can produce our own rain. Israelis are producing everything. It's like, we can produce our own rain. Thanks, Hashem, but we don't need you anymore. It used to be, V'atzah Shemayim was like, no rain equals death. Our kids can't imagine. No rain to us means what do you mean? Less showering? What does it mean? They can't even imagine not having water. We don't appreciate. Of course we don't until we're missing something. And our kids, when they're struggling, even regular kids, they don't appreciate. We're talking about what kind of adults they're going to be. You were doing TP phenomenal for 2 years?
It was just at the 2-year mark.
2-year mark, phenomenal. TP black belts, Mesiras Nefesh, and feeling like, everybody was so inspired by you, and you were doing so much, and then you found out that your kid might have, Rahman al-Itzlan, God forbid, Yana Machla, cancer. They thought. And all of a sudden, she came to group, she said, I'm doing much more than I did before, and I don't think I'm great. I don't think I'm amazing. I don't think I deserve a medal. I'm just a mommy, just a daddy. We know physical illness so good. We will do anything for a sick kid. That's why these kids say, and a lot of parents say it also, it would be so much easier if they had cancer. I've had kids tell me, I wish I had cancer. Can you imagine how sick a kid is to say, I wish I had cancer? Nobody will judge me anymore. Everybody will feel bad for me. Uncle Moshe will come, Mordechai David will come, everybody will come. Nobody will say, I don't understand. I'm vacuuming the floor and you're on the couch, you can't lift your legs. Nobody's going to say that. Nobody's going to say, nobody's going to go to a therapist who says, very important, you got to teach the kid. If you don't teach the kid, how are they going to know? They knew when they were 10 and 11 and 12, and now at 15, 16, they have amnesia. Very important, they have to help out and do chores. They don't do chores, no, you don't get money. You don't get money, you end up in a war, and take hostages. We're so good at physical illness. And forget about cancer. Fever. A kid has fever is king. 103 fever, 104 fever, king. Come down Friday night, you don't care what they're wearing. They come to the soup, you say, oh, great to see you, I didn't see this kid in 2 days. But if they're depressed and they're in bed for 2 days, is this the way you come to the Shabbos table? You don't have any self-respect? All of a sudden we have to teach them lessons. I had a parent that told me, I have to teach my kid the value of $1. I have to teach my kid self-respect. I have to teach my kid a whole list. I said, I agree. But why now? Not when your kid wants to die. Can we first take your kid out of being suicidal and cutting themselves and drugs and numbing their pain? And can we wait for them to be stable? And then we'll teach whatever you want. Why today? Why while the kid is climbing up the stairs to go to the roof to jump off, I have to teach you lessons. I have to be mechanech you. That's my responsibility as a parent. Usually just the fathers say that. Right? I have to teach. You taught them well. They knew it at 10 years old. They knew everything you want to say. They knew at 10 years old. Now teach them something else. I don't understand what is going on with you, but I'm on your side. Teach them loyalty. Oh, nobody taught us that. Teach them compassion. Teach them, I don't need to understand. You don't need to explain to me anything. Obviously, I know you're good. I know you my whole life. Obviously, something's cooking, and there's a reason why you can't get out of bed in the morning. I don't need you to tell me what it is. I don't need you to explain to me why you can't behave. They want to be in this box as much as we wanted them to be. Nobody says, you know what, at 15 years old, I have a great idea. I think I'll be much happier if I smoke weed, drop out of school, and just do whatever I want. They want your love. They want you to be happy with them. And they're so darn sensitive that what breaks their heart the most is that they let down their parents. They don't want to let you down, and yet they're going to let you down because they can't live up to the regular standards. And it bothers them so much. I'm a letdown to my mommy. I'm a letdown to my daddy. They think you're singing, Al Hanar Hazeh Lo Hispalalti. New song, Lo Hispalalti Al Hanar Hazeh. This is not what I asked for. The stork dropped the kid down the wrong chimney. Not what I asked for. And you're disappointed in them. And that takes a kid who's broken and shoves their face into the mud. Can't recover from that. And you're doing the opposite. Even though we don't understand. Some of you know what happened to your kids, some of you don't yet. You'll find out. There's a reason. There's a reason why the plan didn't work. Because we have a very nice plan. We have children. We put them on the assembly line. They go to school. We pay tuition. Not easy. We dress them like mommy, if they're girls, like daddy, if they're boys. And then they have a bar mitzvah if they're a boy and a bas mitzvah if they're a girl. And they grow up to be, the boys are exactly like daddy and the girls are exactly like mommy. And if that doesn't happen, that means something happened between the kiddush and the bris until now. Nobody's having fun out there off the derech. Nobody chose to leave the derech because they had a better destination and a better plan for their life. It's misery. It's misery. It's misery not because we're so good and derech HaTorah is so great. Even the opposite. Even the opposite. People who changed from their environment, there's a reason. There's a reason why people leave. It's so much easier if you're lazy to just be like everyone else in your family and not be the cause of so much tsar and agmas nefesh. And my parents got to go to this group every week to deal with me. I'm such a problem. And my friends are such problems. And everybody in Klal Yisrael, they make a whole Shabbos about us. You know, we're like the biggest problem in Klal Yisrael. They don't want to be a problem. They didn't ask for this. Somebody stabbed them with an invisible knife. And they have internal bleeding. And as long as we're judging them, we're just taking that hole inside, as Shimon Russell says, and we're just making the hole in the heart bigger. Comes you guys, you're angels, and we just say, I believe in you. I trust you. You're good. And that's the beginning that allows them to heal. They shouldn't lose their parents and their family. Can you imagine a sick kid who then tells their parents, or someone tells the sick kid, oh, you're causing your parents so much tsar that you have cancer. Oh, you got hit by a bus and now you're in a wheelchair. Oh, you're causing your parents so much agmas nefesh. It's so hard for them. They're so embarrassed. Why are you doing this to them? Physical illness is so easy. So easy. Going over to these kids and telling them, do you know how much pain you're causing your parents? It's the worst thing you can do. They don't want to cause you pain. They don't want to cause you pain. They cannot. That's what all the tzaddikim said. Oynis, they can't, chayla, oynis, shaita. I don't care what you call them. They don't have regular, normal freedom of choice like we do to make regular decisions because something very bad happened to them. And it's so clear to the people in the sugya who understand these kids. I got a call from somebody from the other opposite end of the world, from Switzerland. And he tells me his dedication to his child. He says, my child is almost dead. He's so depressed. He doesn't leave the room day after day, month after month, year after year. He doesn't leave the room. He hasn't seen sunlight in over 2 years. And every day, no matter what time Shkia is, I leave work to travel home in traffic to wake him up so he could put on tefillin before either you get it or you don't. You're all either in shock and disbelief or laughing, like what's wrong with this guy? Tamimus. He was like, I want him to do mitzvah of tefillin. I'm like, there's no words. Either you get it or you don't. Either you get it or you don't. You know how long I had to spend on the phone with him? It's like going, I said, why don't you go to my Maimonides hospital? You have 400 from people not putting on tefillin. Just go wake them up. Listen, I'm really sorry about that whole brain surgery thing that you had last night. Really sorry about that coma thing, but you just got, we have shkiya's in 10 minutes. Shkiya. What about, tefillin is not even, what about Kriya Shema? Kriya Shema, it's my Kriya Shema. Hi, so sorry about that whole stroke. But can you manage to get your one hand? We just need one hand up. Shema. I'll do it with you. Shema. Wait, what are you, crazy out of your mind? You don't do that in a hospital. Or you're just going to go, I'm just reminding you. They're not forgetful. They're sick. This guy, wake the kid up to hug him. Wake him up. I'm not against tefillin, and I'm very happy that at least the kid has tefillin mitzvah. It's just missing the boat. The kid's drowning. Pull the kid out of depression. Take him on. Do what we're doing. And how many kids with depression we Baruch Hashem healed by what we're doing. But the focus was so, and there's nothing wrong with him. He just doesn't know better. He just doesn't know better. We have such a duty to heal. You can't be mechanech a sickness. They're sick. We have to understand its sickness. And of course, we want them to do mitzvahs. Of course, that's the goal. It should be healthy. It should be alive, healthy, functioning, and yismach leiv mevakshay Hashem. That's why they come back, because we have the right lifestyle. They're sick. That's why they can't do it. They don't need to be reminded, and they don't need to be woken up in the middle of their depression and middle of suicide. Like, I know you want to kill yourself, but can you wait 10 minutes? Because let's first shkia, and then you'll jump off the building. I mean, it's just missing the boat.